Darkness had fallen on the lonely stretch of Route 112. The road, often desolate and eerie, was even more so on this particular night. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds, casting an ominous shadow over the landscape. The only sound was the occasional rustle of leaves in the cold wind, a reminder of the isolation that enveloped this remote area. Snow swirled in the headlights of a passing car, creating a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. The flakes fell steadily, blanketing the road in a thick, white layer. The car's tires crunched over the fresh snow, the sound muffled by the dense, wintry air. It was a night that seemed to swallow all signs of life, leaving only the stark beauty of the snowfall, briefly illuminating a sight that would spark countless questions, a fleeting glimpse of something unusual caught in the beam of the headlights. It was a momentary flash, but enough to stir a sense of unease. What was that? A shadow? An object? The mind raced with possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. A Volvo station wagon, its hazard lights blinking, abandoned on a snowdrift. The car stood out starkly against the white backdrop, a silent sentinel in the night. The hazard lights flashed rhythmically, a beacon of distress in the otherwise tranquil scene. It was clear that something was amiss. The engine idled, its warmth a fragile bubble against the encroaching New Hampshire winter. The exhaust formed ghostly plumes in the frigid air, a sign of life in an otherwise lifeless scene. The car's interior was a stark contrast to the cold, harsh world outside, a small haven of warmth and light. Inside the car, scattered belongings hinted at a sudden departure, a life interrupted. A purse lay open on the passenger seat, its contents spilled out in disarray. A cell phone, a map, a few personal items, all left behind in a hurry. It was as if the driver had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only these small, poignant traces of their existence. But the driver was gone. The empty driver's seat stood as a silent testament to the mystery. Where had they gone? Why had they left? The questions hung heavy in the air, unanswered and unsettling. The car, once a vessel of movement and purpose, now sat abandoned and alone. Maura Murray, a promising nursing student, had vanished. Her face, smiling and full of life, now stared out from missing person posters. She had dreams, ambitions, a future ahead of her. But on that cold February night, all of that was abruptly cut short. Her disappearance left a void, a sense of loss that rippled through her family, friends, and the community. It was February 9th, 2004, and she was never seen again. The date became etched in the memories of those who knew her, a grim milestone that marked the beginning of a long and painful search for answers. The cold, dark night of her disappearance was just the start of a mystery that would haunt many for years to come. Maura Murray, 21, was a bright and athletic young woman. She was known for her infectious smile and her determination to succeed in everything she did. Friends and family often described her as a beacon of light, someone who could brighten up any room she walked into. Her passion for life was evident in her many pursuits, both academic and athletic. She excelled academically and harbored dreams of a career in medicine. Maura was a dedicated student, often seen with her nose buried in medical textbooks, preparing for a future where she could help others. Her professors noted her keen intellect and her unwavering commitment to her studies. She was not just a dreamer, but a doer, someone who took concrete steps towards achieving her goals. A star athlete in high school, she continued to pursue running at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where she was a junior. Her dedication to running was unparalleled. She would often be the first one on the track and the last one to leave. Her teammates admired her work ethic and her ability to push through even the toughest training sessions. Running was not just a sport for Maura, it was a way of life, a discipline that taught her resilience and perseverance. But, beneath her cheerful exterior, Maura carried a weight of personal struggles, a recent DUI charge, academic pressures, and a tumultuous relationship with her boyfriend. The DUI incident had shaken her, casting a shadow over her otherwise stellar reputation. The academic pressures were mounting, and the relationship with her boyfriend was fraught with arguments and misunderstandings. These issues, though hidden from most, were a constant source of stress for Maura, gnawing at her peace of mind. Had these burdens become too heavy to bear? Was Maura silently crying out for help, her struggles invisible to those around her? The weight of her responsibilities and the expectations placed upon her were immense. It was as if she was carrying the world on her shoulders, trying to maintain a facade of strength while crumbling inside. The question lingered, Was she overwhelmed by the pressures of her life, or was there something more sinister at play? Or had a sinister force intervened, snatching Maura from the side of that desolate road? The night she disappeared, the road was eerily quiet, shrouded in darkness. Witnesses reported seeing a mysterious figure near the spot where her car was found. The circumstances of her disappearance were baffling, leaving more questions than answers. Was it a random act of violence, or was Maura targeted for reasons unknown? The mystery of her vanishing continues to haunt those who knew her, a life interrupted with no clear resolution in sight. The days following Maura's disappearance were a blur of frantic searches, filled with a sense of urgency and desperation. Friends, family, and volunteers combed through the dense forest, their flashlights piercing the growing darkness as they called out her name, hoping for any sign of her presence. And dead-end leads. Police scoured the woods, meticulously examining every inch of the terrain. They were determined to find any clue that could shed light on Maura's whereabouts. The search was exhaustive, with officers working around the clock driven by the hope of bringing her home. Divers plunged into icy rivers, braving the frigid waters in search of any evidence that might have been overlooked. Helicopters buzzed overhead, their searchlights sweeping across the forest canopy, providing a bird's-eye view of the vast, unforgiving landscape. The coordinated efforts of the search teams were relentless, yet the mystery only deepened. But Maura was gone, leaving behind a trail of baffling clues. Her abandoned car, found on a quiet road, became the focal point of the investigation. Scattered around the vehicle were items that only added to the enigma, each one a piece of a puzzle that seemed impossible to solve. Her car, though damaged in a minor accident just before her disappearance, was locked. The damage suggested a sudden, unexpected event, but the locked doors hinted at a deliberate action. It was as if Maura had vanished into thin air, leaving behind more questions than answers. Her cell phone and credit cards were never used again. This abrupt cessation of activity was alarming, as it indicated that Maura had not accessed any of her resources since the night she disappeared. The lack of communication and financial transactions painted a grim picture, one that suggested she had either gone into hiding or met with foul play. Her belongings, a backpack, textbooks, and other personal items, were found inside the car, untouched. These items, which she would have likely taken with her if she had planned to leave voluntarily, remained as silent witnesses to her sudden disappearance. Even a bottle of alcohol, which might have provided some clue to her state of mind, remained in the car, untouched. The presence of these items suggested that whatever had happened to Maura had occurred swiftly and without warning, leaving no time for her to gather her things. What had happened in those final moments before Maura vanished into the night? The question haunted everyone involved in the search. Theories ranged from an accidental fall to a planned escape, but without concrete evidence, they remained just that, theories. The darkness of that night seemed to swallow all answers, leaving behind a trail of questions that would continue to perplex and torment those who cared about Maura. As weeks turned into months, the case grew colder, but the whispers grew louder. Local rumors swirled, painting a picture of a small town with secrets. Some whispered about a mysterious man seen near Maura's car that night, a shadowy figure who vanished as quickly as he appeared. Others spoke of a dark-colored truck seen speeding away from the scene. Were these sightings mere figments of imagination, fueled by fear and uncertainty, or did they hold the key to unraveling Maura's fate? Section 5. The red stain. Among the unsettling discoveries in Maura's car was a cryptic clue, a red stain on her clothing. Was it blood, paint, red wine spilled during a moment of distress? Forensic tests proved inconclusive, leaving investigators grappling with the stain's significance. Did it point to a struggle, a desperate fight for survival, or was it a cruel red herring, a meaningless detail that only deepened the mystery? Section 6. Digital ghosts. In the years since Maura's disappearance, the internet has become a breeding ground for theories and speculation. Online sleuths have meticulously dissected every detail of the case, poring over maps, timelines, and witness statements. They've uncovered inconsistencies, highlighted potential suspects, and fueled a relentless pursuit of the truth. But can digital detectives succeed where traditional investigators have failed? Or are they chasing ghosts in the digital ether, their efforts doomed to be lost in the vastness of cyberspace? Section 7. The accident. Moments before she vanished, Maura's car had veered off the road, colliding with a snowbank. Was this a simple accident, a momentary lapse in judgment, or was it a staged event? a desperate ploy to lure help from unsuspecting passers-by? Some believe Maura may have been fleeing from someone or something, her car a fragile shield against an unseen threat. Others speculate that the accident itself was orchestrated, a carefully planned ruse designed to conceal a sinister motive. Section 8. The disappearance. The circumstances surrounding Maura's disappearance are as perplexing as they are troubling. Did she choose to disappear? To leave behind the complexities of her life and start anew? Was she the victim of a random act of violence snatched by a stranger who vanished into the night? Or did someone she know, someone who knew her routines, her vulnerabilities, orchestrate her disappearance, erasing her from existence with chilling precision? Section 9. Theories and speculation. Over the years, countless theories have emerged, each attempting to make sense of the senseless. Some believe Maura ran away, seeking refuge from her troubles. Others suspect foul play, pointing to the lack of evidence and the strange circumstances surrounding her disappearance. Theories abound about serial killers, disgruntled ex-boyfriends, and even a secret life that Maura may have been hiding. But with each passing year, the truth remains elusive, obscured by a fog of speculation and uncertainty. Section 10. Unanswered questions. Today, almost 2 decades after that fateful winter night, Maura Murray's disappearance remains an unsolved mystery. Her case continues to captivate and haunt, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. Where did Maura go that night? Who or what was responsible for her disappearance? Did she meet with foul play, or did she orchestrate her own vanishing act? These questions linger, unanswered and unforgettable, a testament to the enduring power of a mystery that refuses to be solved. For more stories like this, please like and subscribe to Oblivion Unlocked.